7-footers crew, what is happening? You guys already know what it is. Jenna and Jarod here. And guys, it is Christmas time. And y'all know what that means. Do we even need to tell them, Jarod?
I mean, we do. It is the annual NBA Christmas Day slate of games where I am undefeated in picking against Jenna. Just every year, I just win. Now, I don't win every game, but head to head, the record, I think it's like, what, 4 years in a row? 5 now? It's what it is.
Yeah, that may be true, okay, on paper. But if there's one thing that I'm good at, it's being consistent. And if I'm consistently losing, it's a win for me still. That's it.
I love
That's
it.
all I
I
gotta
love it.
say. Okay.
I love it. I
You
love it.
have been pretty
Yeah,
steadfast and
I
good
just
in your
yeah,
predictions.
I try to do my thing. We'll see how it goes though. But let's kick it off. And program reminder. Oh, we'll tell people at the end. Anyway, let's kick off the first game.
Yes, because first of all, let me just say that the NBA on Christmas Day is one of the greatest things ever because it is one of the longest standing traditions in sports history. Let's be real. So, kudos to the NBA for playing another successful season. So, let's talk about these epic matchups. Now, let's start first with the Knicks and the 76ers. Kicking off here, I should say tipping off here, NFL brain, at noon. So, let's get into it right now
Mhm.
because the Knicks are on a little win streak of their own and they're balling, okay? And the
Correct.
76ers, they ain't too shabby themselves,
hmm
but these
hmm
red
hmm
hot Knicks, though, talk to me about that side of the ball.
I mean, they're playing defense. They're guarding the hell out of the ball right now. Number 8 in adjusted defensive rating. I mean, look, they're a hell of a ball club right now. Tibbs has got them playing well. My fear with them, of course, is that Tibbs is going to grind them into the ground because he plays them a billion minutes a night, and doesn't trust the bench or the young kids. So this is all well and good in December, but come February, March, when these dudes are out of gas, or let's say they're able to maintain throughout the regular season, but come playoffs, like 2 years ago, they got nothing because they grind themselves into dust. But they are playing well. Jalen Brunson is excellent on offense for the Knicks. Really kind of organizes them, gets them set where they have to go. RJ Barrett, excuse me, finishing well at the rim, attacking, getting downhill. Look, I like this team a lot. Again, they're playing well. So this should be an interesting matchup.
I'm also looking forward to this too because, again, the Knicks are balling, but you also have the defense that you said. They're actually playing defense
Excellent
and
defense.
it's
Yeah.
fun to watch.
hmm
So we'll see if they can sustain this too, though, heading past Christmas. Because as we've said before many times, after Christmas is when it's the real telltale here of who's going to
hmm
really last.
hmm
And we
hmm
see that playoff picture kind of developing.
Yeah.
So we shall see. You know how it goes up in here. Now, let's move on to the next matchup of the day.
Wait,
And of
we wait,
course,
wait, wait. We
Gerard.
we didn't even pick the wins. We didn't say anything about the 76ers,
Oh,
which
I
is
didn't know if you wanted to do it like after each one. Okay, I
yeah,
got
yeah,
you. I
yeah,
got
yeah.
you.
Let's talk about the 76ers too. Look, they're getting healthy. They're still missing Tyrese Maxey. But Harden's back. Embiid's playing well. They're number 5 in adjusted defensive rating. So they're a hell of a defense themselves. This should be this. I mean, I can see defensive struggle. The issue, of course, is what do you do with Embiid, right? I just feel like he's a real problem. I can see Jalen Brunson going off in this game. But again, the Embiid thing, I can just see him dominating. And if Tobias Harris can give them any semblance of points, George Niang off the bench, you know what they can do there. I'm going to go Sixers on this one to pull the Christmas Day win.
Oh, okay. See, I'm gonna go with the Knicks because they're at the
hmm
Mecca,
hmm
and y'all
hmm
know that people in New York, they literally live for this day. This is like a Christmas present for most people who spend their day there and like leave their families for this. So
hmm
I'm going with the crowd and everything at the Mecca backing this Knicks team. So the
All
Knicks
right.
have me for
You're,
the win on
okay.
Christmas Day.
I like it. I like it. All right.
All right, all right.
Next
Let's move
matchup.
on and talk about the Lakers Mavericks, okay? Because the Lakers are still in shambles and it's really killing me. But hey, I mean, the Mavericks have issues of their own too. So
Damn
dissect
straight.
this and break it down for me.
I mean, I think I said this in our show notes. LeBron and some dudes versus Luca and some dudes. Like, this is kind of what this is.
Facts. Facts, though.
I mean, it's unfortunate Anthony Davis is down. He's going to be out for at least a month before he gets reevaluated. And he was playing like the best player in the world. And if he was there, I'd
Yep.
say, oh, I like the Lakers. But now they're down him. Look, Thomas Bryant's good. He's been playing well. Lakers are starting to shoot the ball slightly better, which is helpful. And LeBron's always capable of doing LeBron things. I mean, the Mavericks, look, Luka's got the highest usage rate in the league. But after their hot start, they've kind of fallen not by the wayside, but they've dropped off a bit, Jenna, right? Like, it's just, I'm not loving what I'm seeing out of the Mavericks lately. And what was it last night? Kid and Luka both got tossed from a game. They're 15 and 16, so they're a game below 500. They're ninth on offense and 12th on defense. So the numbers say they're a fine club, but I don't know. And the Lakers, look, got LeBron James. You always got a chance. They were improving, actually, and starting to play a lot better basketball, but still, they're 22nd in adjusted net rating, 25th in offense, 14th in defense. They just can't score enough points. So I'm going to go and lean Dallas on this one.
Whatever. I'm still going with the Lakers. Don't care. Even if it's a road game, I don't care. I am going all in with the Lakers. I just feel like Christmas Day is like a showcase. So I feel like LeBron's going to know and be like, you know what? Let me just put a little extra sauce on this little dinner here today, pre-Christmas dinner here, this afternoon matchup.
And that's the one I feel like. So that's the 2:30 tip somewhere around there. I mean, that's the one.
Yeah,
2:30 on the East Coast, so like 11:30 on the West Coast. So on the East Coast, that's going to be the one people are going to be like, they might kind of. I mean, yes, it's Luka, but people might be like, a little bit of a checkout. We'll see. I mean, as you know, we'll be plugged into all the games. But
Oh, yeah, you texting me, trolling me about all your wins, and I'm just going to be like, I'm not having this. I'm drinking wine.
Trolling.
That's it.
Trolling.
All right.
Trolling.
Let's talk about the next matchup, though, because this 5 p.m. tip is a battle in the East. The Bucks, where are we at? At Celtics, I see here. And this is going to be interesting because I feel like we've been talking about how the Bucks have been flying under the radar all season long. And let's, say what it is. It's the 1 and 2 team in the East. Same record basically here by a game. And you got this Celtics team that we all thought was going to be a dumpster fire because, I mean, behind the scenes, it is a dumpster fire.
They got some issues,
Yeah, just some light issues, nothing too deep. But let's talk about the matchup and stay on the court. So the 1 and 2 team in the East, I don't even know what to think when it comes to this one.
This is potentially, Jenna, the battle of the best 2 teams in the league. This is a preview of what the Eastern Conference Finals matchup could be this year. You mentioned half a game separates them, right? Milwaukee 22-8, Boston 22-9. Boston with the number 1 offense and number 9 defense. Bucks with the number 15 offense, number 2 defense. The Bucks are dealing with some injuries. They're getting Chris Middleton back. They got Joe Ingles back. They got Pat Connaughton back, but those guys are working themselves back into the rotation and playing and the rhythm of playing with the guys. Of course, they still have Giannis, and you got Giannis, and the way he plays means you always got a chance. You can always win games because he is every year as a perennial MVP candidate, right? And this year is no different. But Boston, Tatum and Brown on the wings, love that. With Marcus Smart, Robert Williams is back. He just came back. That's going to start helping their defense. This should be an epic matchup. And in the Garden, I'm going to go with the Celtics because, look, the Celtics have played better basketball all year long. They played a tougher schedule. The Celtics really, look, this weekend series they had in Orlando over the weekend where they lost 2 games to the Magic. And I was like, what are you guys doing? That was a little bit rough, but they didn't get blown out in any of those games, right? The Bucks, now granted, it was the Memphis Grizzlies, who are excellent, and we'll talk about them in a minute, got blown out by the Grizzlies last week, and it's just, I wonder when a team kind of gets up, and I could see Boston kind of wanting to make a statement, being like, you know what, like, we feel the hurt from losing the finals last year, right? And I always tell you that can go one of 2 ways, right? It's either going to make you fold and you're not going to be able to make it back, or you're hungrier because you're like, damn it, we blew an opportunity. We had a chance to win a championship and we didn't. We got to do whatever we can to get back there. I think Jaylen Brown has that kind of mentality, and I think he's really ready to help to push the Celtics with Tatum and everybody that I mentioned, push them back to that NBA Finals, and hopefully, if they have another opportunity, to win it this time. So I like Boston.
I'm going to agree with you here. I like Boston too. I think they're riding this high, this confidence that they have. Things are gelling for them. It's working. You said they got the Time Lord back. So,
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
mean, things are clicking for them, and it's in Boston. TD Garden's going to be rocking. Let's be serious.
mm-hmm.
But it's definitely going to be a good matchup. High level basketball. If you're going to tune into anything that day, make it that Eastern Conference matchup. Now, we need to talk about the next one down the pipeline here, because we got Grizzlies at Golden State. And
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Golden State, I just saw a report today that the flu is running through the team. They're without Steph Curry, who's
mm-hmm,
down with that shoulder injury.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So already you're not going to see a high profile point guard matchup in John Morant
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
Curry,
mm-hmm.
but still some good basketball to play. The Grizzlies, the number one team in the West. I mean, that smile on your face is so genuine, because I feel like this is a team that you like.
Listen, you know I love the Grizzlies. You know I've been high on them for the last 4 years, basically. I just love
Yes.
I love this squad. Big Jaren Jackson Jr. fan, as everyone knows. Shout out to Trip for being on the pod with us early in the pandemic.
Hmm.
John Morant, Desmond Bain, Dylan Brooks, Santi Aldama, Steven Adams. I mean, the list goes on about the talent on this team. Look, I think Memphis, Jenna, they're committed to wanting to get further this year. Everybody knows last year they got to the conference semis against Golden State, lost in 6. But remember, they were without John Morant for 3 of those final 6 games because he was out
Hmm.
injured, and they blew out Golden State in one of those games. Right? This is a young, hungry team that has some playoff experience. Right? This will, looking ahead, this will be the 3rd year that this squad has gone to the postseason. Right? And we know that every time you get reference points and you're learning and you're getting better. John Morant's a superstar, right? He was all NBA last year. Jaren Jackson Jr., he was all defense last year, and he's making a case. Even though he started the season, he missed the first 11 games. He is in all defense categories right now and can be in defensive player of the year. And he could be an all-star. I mean, Jenna, if he had enough games to qualify, he would lead the league in blocks in only like 12 games. Like this is how incredible he's playing. Desmond Bain's out and injured, so he will miss this matchup, as Curry will as well. But I love something Dylan Brooks said. Oh, it's too bad Steph's not there. We wanted him to be there. But, I guess Klay Thompson got to see what kind of defense I can play. And I like Dylan Brooks. If you're a Grizzlies fan, Dylan Brooks is like the gift and the curse. He's the gift because you love his moxie and his attitude and he takes on the opposing team's best player every night and is up for that challenge. That
I
is
was just going to say, and he wants to do it. He wants to be there.
yes, that is a job that most people don't want, because when you go up against the other team's best player, you're going to look foolish at times because they're going to score on you, and it's going to be a lot of work, mental and physical fatigue. But he wants that. Like, he relishes that challenge. He gets excited and gets up for it, right? Steph, it doesn't matter who it is. And when you're going against these elite guys, you have to think that way, because or else otherwise, why bother? You're going to get killed, right? So you have to have that attitude, and that's how he thinks. The curse of that is that, of course, he thinks that way on offense too, and shoots the ball a little bit too much sometimes. You're like, oh my God, what's this guy doing? But I get it. You got to you got the good with the bad with Dylan Brooks. And remember, this team's got a little bit of some history. Of course, they played last year in the playoffs. Jaren Jackson tweeted out during the regular season last year, strength in numbers. After the Warriors beat them, Klay was like, oh, whatever. Like, some idiot from the Grizzlies tweeted out strength in numbers, knowing that that's our motto. Like, there's a lot of, Draymond and Ja were getting back and forth on Twitter. Like, nah, big dog. Oh, the champs get home court on Christmas Day. You wouldn't know nothing about that. Like, all this back and forth, right? I love it. I am here for all of it. You already know where I'm going. I'm taking the Grizzlies in this one. The Grizzlies, to me, Jenna, I think will finish the regular season number 1 seed in the West. Will get to the Western Conference Finals.
Hot take if I've ever heard one, and I'm backing you up on that. Grizzlies all the way. This is like a no-brainer. I mean, especially with the Steph Curry factor out. So, I
I
mean,
mean, look,
you're automatically not going to see him raining threes. So, huge
they
deficit for the Warriors.
they they're they still have Jordan Poole, still have Klay Thompson, still have Draymond Green. Like the Warriors are still a good team, right? We've seen that. And we'll see how they perform on this road trip before they get home for Christmas. They have the Knicks tonight, they have Brooklyn tomorrow night. And then one more game, or no, that might be it. Wednesday. Yeah, that's it until Sunday, I think. So we'll see what this team looks like on the rest of this road trip. But they're competitors. Everybody on that roster has won a championship, right? So we'll see what they put together for this Christmas matchup. But again, the Grizzlies kind of want to come in as much as you can, send a message. But hey, we know you're down a guy, but we're down a guy too. No Desmond Bane, right? Desmond Bane isn't Steph, but Desmond Bane was playing like an all-star before he got hurt. That's a potential
For sure.
all-NBA backcourt with Ja and Desmond Bane. So, and again, look, nobody cries or cares who's missing who. At the end of the day, when the ball tips up, you got to play whoever's in front of you and beat whoever's in front of you, right? So I think both teams will compete, but I like Memphis to win this one.
For sure. And last note on those Warriors, I mean, this is a huge time for Jordan Poole to capitalize on, basically kind of the same moment that he did last season when Steph Curry was hurt. So, I mean, what did he drop, like 45 the other night? So hopefully they're expecting big numbers out of him. But let's get to the final matchup of the 5-day Christmas Day slate of games. And that is, I already said the best matchup in the East, so this is going to be the best matchup in the West. The Suns at Nuggets. Okay. These are two teams that have championship aspirations. We got the number 2 and 3 teams behind the Grizzlies. And this is going to be another 48 minutes of high level basketball. So talk to me about this, because both teams are red hot right now. Like I said, 2 and 3 in the West.
It's interesting. My worry about Denver is, can they play enough defense? Like, I just don't see it defensively from Denver right now. And I thought they'd be better defensively this year with some of the additions they made, particularly Bruce Brown, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in the offseason in terms of acquisitions. Jenna, they're 28th in adjusted defensive rating. Like, that's right. There's 30 teams, so they're basically last. Right, they're second to last. Offensively,
I'm not good at math, and I even know that that's bad.
Offensively, they're excellent. They're 5th on offense. Well, of course you're going to be 5th on offense. You have the 2-time MVP on your team, Nikola Jokic, right? And you got Jamal Murray. You got shooters. And Michael Porter Jr. has been kind of in and out of the lineup, like still dealing with some injury stuff. I look, this is a team who I like a lot, if healthy, to get to the conference finals. Thus far, through more than a quarter of the way through the season, they haven't shown me that on the defensive side of the ball. They can stop anybody. They can score points, but they can't guard anybody right now, and I don't love that. On the Phoenix side, they got injuries, right? First, there's the Jay Crowder thing. Hopefully that situation will resolve itself. Are you trading him? Are you not? Sometime at the trade deadline. They were without Cameron Johnson for a bit. Chris Paul missed a good chunk to start the season. He's back now. But Chris Paul's 38. It's starting to look like he's 38 on the court, right? And he's such a vital part to what they do.
College-educated Chris Paul.
A college-educated Chris Paul got his degree from, was it Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I want to say.
Communications.
Look, the Suns are still an excellent team. And look, DeAndre Ayton's got to be better. It's going to be nights where he just dominates the basketball, and he's just not that disposition to dominate. When they went to the finals 2 years ago, that's how he played. He played to dominate his matchup every night. Hasn't been doing that this year. We know about what happened in the offseason, the Monty Williams thing at the end of the playoffs. We still don't know the full story. That hasn't come out yet. They say everything's all good. Okay. We just got to take your word for it, I guess. Devin Booker has been incredible. Lights out. He's been an excellent player at his all-NBA level self. But, he's going to need some more. So they get Cam Johnson back. We'll start seeing some things. I'll be curious to see how this plays out. At Denver, the altitude, the excitement. I'm going to say Denver holds on at home, pulls it out late.
Okay, fine. Just because you're doing that, I'm going with the Suns.
Perfect. I mean, go with the Suns. Why not?
Go, Devin.
Yeah, I mean, look, Book could drop 50 on him, right? I mean,
he's been on fire.
He's been excellent. He's been excellent. No, it's these look, people are bummed because you have some stars out, right, in some of these games, but there is plenty of star wattage on the court on Christmas night. These are 5 excellent games. Like that early Knicks 76ers game might be an old-fashioned like defensive slugfest. Like PJ Tucker's out there. Like you might just see like, and the Knicks, they all play this bruising, hard, like physical brand of basketball. That has a chance. All of you old heads who love your 90s basketball, and by old heads, I mean, look, I'm older than most of you who listen to this podcast, right? Like I grew up watching 80s basketball, right, and 90s. That's not my favorite, but I get some of you who are so nostalgic for that type of thing. You might see some of that in that game, right? It's a lot of physicality, a lot of big bruising guys on the floor in that game. You know, and even if the Lakers are missing AD, you guys still got LeBron, right? You got Luka. We were talking about Bucks, Celtics, Grizzlies. I mean, these matchups are excellent. You have 5 games. That is, I don't know, 15 hours of glorious basketball on Christmas Day.
Glorious with a capital G. You guys know what it is. I mean, Jarod will be trolling me all day, counting the wins. I'm just going to text back that I don't do math, the usual.
I don't do math.
It's going to be a whole thing. Yeah. You guys already know what to expect at this point, how many years we're into this. So one of the best days of the year is upon us, my friends. So make sure you tune in and get this basketball on Christmas Day. It's some of the best. The vibes are just different. It's just fun.
And it's also
all the guys come out with their special sneakers and all the
Christmas
other
editions.
elements of it.
It's very cool. And also it's a time when the casual NBA fan realizes, oh, the NBA's here. It's like, yeah, the NBA's been going on. We're already a quarter of the way through the season. But, folks, definitely this is the last episode of the 2022 calendar year. So we hope everybody who celebrates has a wonderful holiday with their families, a safe and happy new year. Take some time, if you can, to enjoy your sports, relax, spend time with family, friends, and loved ones. And we will see you all back in the new year. As always, you can follow us on Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that. At 7footers Pod on Twitter, at 7footers Podcast on Instagram, at JS Hector, at Jenna Lemoncelli. And until next time, everybody, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, peace.
Happy Holidays.
Spent a couple years out here with these raps, trying to have a plan that we made come true. Applied to some jobs, but I ain't hit back. I don't want to trap.